إن هذا القرآن يهدي للتي هي أقوم ويبشر المؤمنين الذين يعملون الصالحات أن لهم أجرا كبيرا.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله. All praise is due to Allah. We thank Him, we seek His help, and we ask for His forgiveness. He whom Allah guides, no one can lead him astray. And he whom Allah lets go astray, no one can guide it to the right path. I bear witness that there is no God other than Allah alone with no associate. And I bear witness that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is his messenger. May Allah's peace and blessings continue to be upon his noble Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his companions, and those who follow their path to the day of resurrection. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. ثم أما بعد فالسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Dear brothers and sisters in Islam, you are all welcome to our exploration of the verses of this noble Quran. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make you and I be among the beneficiaries of this noble Quran. Brothers and sisters in Islam, we've started exploring the deep meanings of Suratul Fatihah. We started by the meanings of the names of Suratul Fatihah, the different names of Suratul Fatihah. Then we explained the virtues of Suratul Fatihah, and then the uniqueness of this Suratul Fatihah, and then the unique connection between Suratul Fatihah and then this between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his servants with this Suratul Fatiha in Salah. And then we mentioned the opinions of scholars regarding the importance of reciting Suratul Fatiha, either to recite it in prayer mandatorily, or to choose any other part of the Quran and recite. So, and then we've explored how the school of thoughts, the Hanbali school of thoughts, and then the Malikiya Shafi'i, and then the Imam Ahmed, the school of thought, what they all said. So now, inshallah, we started, going deeper by starting with Isti'adha, which is A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in various verses of the Quran warned the slaves of Allah to be careful and mindful of shaitan. Isti'adha was made so that people will be very, very conscious of the prayer, because shaitan always have an influence in the person who did not seek refuge with Allah. So that is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it very necessary. And then Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, whenever he want to initiate the recitation of the Quran, or whenever he want to read it inside prayer, before he starts the recitation, Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam will make isti'adha. And we have in so many of the traditions, authentic traditions, we've explained how Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam will make isti'adha. A'udhu billahi samil alim min hamzihi wa nafthihi wa nafthihi Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Then Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam will start reciting Surah Al-Fatiha inside his prayer. So isti'adha is very paramount. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made us to know that the human enemy and then the satanic enemy. The human enemy, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala command the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to do good to the human enemy, so that with time he can realize out of his the generosity of the person doing good to him, and then the kindness, he can now reflect and then become a close friend and even embrace his own religion. So that is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said he should be doing وَلَا تَسَلْ حَسَنَةُ وَلَا سَيِّدْفَعْ بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ. Anything bad done to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he should do good to counter the bad that somebody did to him. He shouldn't replace the bad with the bad. Evil is not replaced with evil. Rather, evil is replaced with good. So that is how Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did. And so many of the companions that we are not his close, that are hostile enemy to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, later realize and then embrace the Islam. But satanic enemy, he is already against Adam and the children of Adam, and he promised to derail them until the day of resurrection. So many verses of the Quran has attested to that. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala now tell us in various ways how we should look for it, do the isti'adah, because shaitan is the most dangerous thing that one can ever come across, because the final abode of anyone who follows shaitan is inside the hellfire. That is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continuously warning us. La tattabi. In fact, in the first place, say we shouldn't follow the footsteps of shaitan. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, la tattabi'u khutuwati shaitan. Wa ma yattabi' khutuwati shaitan fa innahu ya'muru bil fahsha'i wal munkar. Inna shaytana lakum aduwwun fattakhidhuhu aduwwa. Innama yad'u hizbahu liyakunu min ashabis sa'ir. So Allah said one should desist from following the footsteps of shaitan. That is why Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in other narrations, he has warned us that even in the morning and evening, there's a adhkar we should do. In some of the adhkar, the fragment said, وَمِن شَرِّ الشَّيْطَانِ وَشِرْكِهِ وَأَعُوذُ بِكَ أَنْ أَقْتَرِفَ عَلَى نَفْسِي سُوءًا أَوْ أَجُرَّهُ إِلَى مُسْلِمٍ. In this morning adhkar, he said we should still do it. In the evening adhkar, he said we should still do it. When we want to sleep, we should recite the surahs that will prevent us away from shaitan, because shaitan do move in the vein of Bani Adam, the way blood runs through our vein. That is how shaitan moves, and always trying to take people out of the right path. So the meaning of seeking refuge with Allah from shaitan, the meaning of isti'adah now.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
This is the first recitation that shows that we should desist from shaitan. Allah said, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. I seek refuge with Allah from the accursed shaitan. Now, what is the meaning of this accursed shaitan? If you say أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, as it has been read, what is the meaning? It means أستجير بجلاب الله من الشيطان الرجيم أن يضرني. I seek the protection of Allah from the accursed devil, so that he does not harm me. When you say أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, this is what it means. في ديني أو دنياي, in my religion or in my worldly life. When you say أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, that you are encompassing it with this. It means Allah should protect you from against shaitan, so that it will not influence you in your religion and then in your worldly life. أو يصدني عن فعل ما أمرت به, or he prevents me from doing what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded me of doing. أو يحثني على فعل ما نهيت عنه, or urge me to do what I have forbidden to do. فإن الشيطان لا يكفه على الإنسان إلا الله. For shaitan, al-rajim, he cannot be restrained from a person except by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When one is doing, saying this adhkar, because shaitan, one of the most important things, even the past prophet, like the father of Prophet Yusuf, that is Yaqub alayhi salam, when he said to his father that he dreamt, he saw 11 stars, and then the sun and the moon were prostrating to him. He said, Ya bunayya la taqsus ru'yaka ala ikhwatika fayakidu laka kaida. Should not reveal this dream to any of your siblings, because he now said, Inna shaytana lil insani aduwwun mubin, because shaitan is a very clear enemy to the son of Adam. So one have to be very careful. That is how important it is. Anyone who wants to warn his son from anything more dangerous, the first thing he should take paramount is to, tell him to be very wary of Shaitan, because Shaitan is a destructive enemy, and the only thing to do is to avoid him by mentioning the name of Allah to seek refuge from Shaitan. The first thing Shaitan like to do is to destroy one's monotheism. The kalma la ilaha illallah, Shaitan will find his way to make sure he destroyed. That is what Shaitan did to so many of Bani Adam. In the beginning, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created Prophet Adam, he spent years, 100 years, worshipping. There wasn't any act of shirk. But as he has already promised that he will derail them, he now inspired to some of these people that came later time, still in the time of Prophet Adam, that they should do something that is like an image. They should create a statue of some good people so that they won't be forgotten. These people are generous in this. These people are kind. These people, are well-receiving people and the rest. So these ones are accommodative. They now make the statues of these people. So when they are passing by, so the initial state, they will be saying them so that they will not forget the kind of action or the good deeds of these people, so that whenever they are they see the statue of these people, they will remember, they will do good. So as time goes by, these people died. When they die, Shaitan, the new generation now, he now say, these statues are the creation. They are the gods of your fathers that left. So you should worship them the way they worship them. So that is the beginning of how Shaitan al-Rajim started derailing people, and then people now become engulfed in the worship of those statues. That is when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the first prophet to them so that he can correct them back to the right track. That is Prophet Nuh alayhi salam. In some narrations, they call him the second Adam. He is the first to come, and Allah made him stay long in life. About 950 years, he was doing his warning to the people so that people can worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then, because of the real essence in the world of the spirit, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, at the back line of Adam, he take all of us and then to his hand, and then he asks, Alastu bi rabbikum, in the covenant of Alastu. Alastu bi rabbikum, we all said, Qalu bala. Then the angel said, Shahidina, we were witness to this. Ayyakunu. Then Allah said, Ayyakulu yawm al-qiyamati inna kunna an hadha ghafilin. So that you now come to me at the day of resurrection and said you have forgotten this. So, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala now let those descendants of Adam that confirm that they are his servants, he now, according to the generation that Allah will, he now make them descend, and then to the day of Qiyamah. So that is an evidence, and we will have nothing to say except to accept the fact that Allah has really talked to us, and then we affirm that we are not going to derail. But when the son of Adam got to earth, he forgot this covenant he made with Allah. So Shaitan, the first thing he does is to, make somebody to lose this kalma. If he did not succeed in doing that, for example, in alms giving now, in zakah, Allah has legislated that zakat should be given. Anyone whose wealth has reached the nisab to pay zakah must give out zakah. So Shaitan came and then make some people find it too heavy. Why should they give zakah? For what reason? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent his prophets that they should worship him and then to remove zakah. Shaitan inspired so many not to give zakah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, out of his mercy, it's only out of the numerous wealth. For example, if it's the money, it's just 1/40 of the whole total amount that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said it should be removed and then give to the poor, the less privileged. But so many, they refuse. Even at the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, So many of them, when Rasul passed away, and then Abu Bakr al-Siddiq became the Khalifa, they said they are not going to give zakat again. Who is he? Abu Bakr? Who is Abu Bakr? They are only giving it at the time of the Prophet. And now the Prophet has gone. So they are not going to give zakat again. Some even said no. If it's that, they are not even going to pray again. So this is how Shaitan derailed people. Concerning the prayer, after Kalma la ilaha illallah, the pillar that is most strong in the religion is Salah. And then in this Surah Al-Fatihah, if you recite only Surah Al-Fatihah, is sufficient, and then your Salat will be accepted. Surah Al-Fatihah. This Shaitan did not even want people to pray this 5 times a day. Mind you, the prayer was 50 before. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His Lawhil Mahfuz, He has ordained that we are going to pray 50 times a day. When Rasulullah was ascended in his Isra wal Mi'raj journey, Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam met so many prophets on the way. He met Prophet Musa. Prophet Musa, when he greeted him, he was proceeded. Musa now shed tears that this young man, his followers he is going to have large group of his followers than me. Then Prophet Musa, now, when Rasulullah was coming back, he said, Ya Rasulullah. He said, Ya Rasulullah. He's saying that, you young man, he said, how many salat have you collected from your Lord? He said, Allah gave me 50. He said, 50, I advise you to go back. I know human being more than you. Muhammad, go back. Tell your Lord to reduce this number of prayer for you. Rasulullah now worked. Rasulullah decreased it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he worked to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reduced the prayer to 40, to 35, 30. He went, if he comes and reach Prophet Musa will say, how many? If he say now it's up to 20, you say, go back. I know human being more than you. They won't be able to do it. I have been a prophet to the Bani Israel, the Jews, and I know how obstinate they are. Go back, let Allah reduce the number of salat for it. When the prophet went there, till the time that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reduced it to 5. And then he came back, still Prophet Musa, he still advised him to go back. He said, God istahiyaitu min Rabbi. Oh, Prophet Musa, I am even shy of going back to see my Lord again. From 50 to 5. Then he said, okay, I wish you well. These 5, because of Shaitan influence, he hardly makes some even pray these 5 daily prayers, which is going to be a very big problem to such a people. So may Allah continue, subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it continue to make observing the prayer much more easier for all of us. So, dear brothers and sisters in Islam, Surah Al-Fatihah is very paramount. As I said, if you can recite it in Salah, it is granted. All other acts of ibadah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send Angel Jibril to come. But Salat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make Angel Jibril to go and bring the Rasul sallallahu to the above 7 heaven before he could, give him a Salat because of its fault. But still, Shaitan will derail people from offering the Salat. And then fasting in the month of Ramadan, as we are now, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it more and more easier for us. But the Prophet sallallahu encouraged us to fast from the dawn to sunset. And Bani Adam, some find it very difficult. They see that of 29 to 30 days as if it's a year. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us himself. He said, Ayyama ma'dudat. They are days that are numbered. They are few. Only 30 days out of 100 and over, 360 days of the whole year. Allah only removed 30 days. So Allah has been very generous and very kind enough to make it only 1 month. If He so wish, we'll have made it to be 6 months, and then we have to obey. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it for only 29 to 30 days. So thereafter, Shaitan will make people, influence people not to fast, not to remove zakah, Okay. And then let alone ordinary alms giving. Day to day, the giveaway that one should do. Because as time goes on, people will be miserly more and more. That is why Rasulullah said, Yulqa al-shush. People, in another version, yatalaqqa shush. People will be teaching themselves how to be miserly. They will be holding the money, the little money Allah has given them, not to give to the less privileged. And this all is the act of shaitan, because a shaitan will never allow them to do the right thing so that they will not get the reward. Inna bayadu hizbahu liyakunu min ashabis sa'id. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said. He said he's calling upon his group so that they will all be the companions of the blazing fire. And that shaitan will prevent the servants of Allah from recitation of the Holy Quran. Until you know how to read Suratul Fatihah and numerous verses of the Quran before you can pray it. But shaitan makes some people so unyielding to the Quran. They don't even care to open the Quran. And some, they even try to open it only, at the month of Ramadan. When the month of Ramadan passes, that is, they do not care to, recite the Holy Quran again. That's why Rasulullah was complaining to Allah. He said, وَقَالَ الرَّسُولُ يَا رَبِّي إِنَّ قَوْمِ اتَّخَذُوا هَذَا الْقُرْآنَ مَهْجُورًا. Rasulullah was saying, oh my Lord, my people have taken this Quran to be something of, neglect, something they will run away from, something they don't care. If a president should send a letter to you, you will be eager, the letter to reach you. You'll be eager to open and see the content of the message that is from your mayor or from the president or from a prime minister. But this message is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Quran, shaitan will always prevent people from, respecting and reading and learning the glorious Quran, while there is a lot of reward in reciting Quran. If you recite it in Ramadan, there's no amount of limits of your reward. Only Allah knows. Because the reward is being rained on his Sabbath. On ordinary days, Rasulullah said, when you recite Al-Quran Al-Kareem, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala he said, every verse, not every huruf of Quran, it has 10 reward. He said, if you say Alif Lam Mim, I did not say Alif Lam Mim 10 reward. No, I mean Alif is 10 reward, Lam 10 reward, Mim 10 reward, making it 30 reward in saying Alif Lam Mim. If you check the letters of Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, the letters of Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim Allah is around 18. So 18 multiplied by 10. So this is the kind of reward you get in reciting Quran. And then, even in trying to know Quran, that one alone has its own reward. But shaitan will always prevent people from knowing the recitation of the glorious Quran. Shaitan will not allow people to love reading. People feel very bored when they start reciting the glorious Quran. And the glorious Quran is no. The Prophet himself, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, he said, Allah command me to read wa an atlu al-Quran. He said, Allah command me to recite the glorious Quran. So if Rasulullah will recite, so who am I? Who are you and me that will not take it as paramount? So shaitan will always prevent the son of Adam from doing all these acts of good. And then shaitan influence, apart from the Suratul Fatihah, that it should be making people to do what's worse. That is, it to make you bring in whispers in your heart, in your mind as you recite. You are reciting inside prayer. They are in remembrance of Allah. It make people heedless. So many people don't remember to invoke in the name of Allah. Rasulullah will invoke the Allah subhanahu. He will do his remembrance. Sayyida Aisha radiallahu anha, she said, Kana yadhkurullah fi kulli ahyani. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam will always, remember Allah. He's making, glorification of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As he's doing subhanallah, alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, la hawla wa la quwwata. All these are the cycles of the remembrance of Allah. So he'll make it, on his lips and then in his heart. But shaitan will never allow the son of Adam to do that. And then, بِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ تَطْمَئِنُّ الْقُلُوبُ. Allah, بِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ تَطْمَئِنُّ الْقُلُوبُ. You should know well that it's with the remembrance of Allah that the heart God's tranquility. So, also in earning one's livelihood, according to the Sharia, Shaitan will always influence the son of Adam to mix both good and bad. Any bad money, he doesn't care. يأتي على الناس زمان, as Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. He said, يأتي على الناس زمان لا يبالي المرء ما أخذ من الحلال أو من الحرام. He said, the time will come that the son of Adam will not care where he take his wealth from. Is it from legal means or from the prohibited means? He doesn't care. Let money just come. In fact, if it means to kill, if it means to loot, to do whatsoever, the son of Adam will do that. And this is the deception. And then the whispers of Shaitan to him. And then if he does that, the month will not be blessed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will draw the blessings that's supposed to be in those money. And then you see him having his family, and then the family will become a hell to him. If the family will become a source of, inconvenience, because the root of the money is devilish, is from Shaitan. So one should be careful in his earnings too, not to involve the earnings that would be, not in accordance with the Sharia. And then Shaitan will frustrate and make people derail from what they do to their spouses, their companion, and then to their neighbors. Shaitan influence the son of Adam. Son of Adam always, he can even go to fire in the way he treats his spouse. If you are not kind and gentle toward your spouse, this is a great calamity. And then on the day of resurrection, Allah is going to ask you, and then if you are found wanting, you will be punished. So, sisters, brothers and sisters, you have to be very generous to your spouse. Be careful not to allow Shaitan, because one of the key place that Shaitan loves to destroy is the marital life. The Shaitan loves to destroy the marital life, because if you were able to successfully make this marital life, a success, that you breed offsprings that are good ambassadors to the deen, Shaitan will be frustrated. And then that means the community is going to be good. But Shaitan will not want this. That is why Shaitan will always, continue to influence the son of Adam to make sure that peace enjoyed in the home is not there. Don't worry, I've gathered over 1,000 benefits for spouses special. I will be releasing that to you in due time, inshallah. The videos of that, inshallah, so that you will know how properly you should behave to your spouse, so that you will not have conflict, and then it will be a means of blessings for you and your spouse. And then your neighbors. Shaitan will always trigger a lot of, conflict between you and your neighbor, so that you not have peace. Shaitan will always make you an enemy to your neighbor. We will not want you to give your neighbor maybe some giveaway, some communities not even know who their neighbors are. And this is not good. Your neighbor is even closer to you than your relatives. Your relatives might be far up, but your neighbor is the closest to you. Whenever you need a help, it's your neighbor that comes to you first. Whenever you need an assistance or anything, if something of grave happens to you, it's your neighbor that will come to you first. And then if anything of happiness come to you, it's your neighbor that will come to you first. So your neighbor should be also a priority. That is why Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Ma zala Jibril yusini bil jar hatta walantu annahu sayuwarih." He said, Jibril keep on reminding me of my duties towards my neighbor till the extent that I think that he would make him to inherit some of my property if I'm no longer alive. So that is how neighbors report. But shaitanic influence, he will make you have a serious fight between you and your neighbor, to the extent that you even drag yourself maybe to the court or to the police. All this is not a good thing. So it's the work of shaitan. Inna shaitana lakum aduwwun fattakhiduhu aduwwa. So shaitan, in the Arabic word, means to distance or to be far away. Shaitan, okay? Tashaitana. If they say tashaitana rajul, that is tashaitana of Allah. This man have become devilish, okay? Because he's doing the act of rebel. If they say tashaitana, maybe fulan, or is it a person or an animal, all it's meaning that they are having a rebellious attitude, which is shaitanic. So one have to be very careful. And shaitan used to he uses every opportunity he has to make people not to be in good time. So Allah said, وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَا لكل نبي عدوا شياطين الجن والإنس يوحي بعضهم إلى بعض زخرف القول غرورا. We have made وكذلك جعلنا لكل نبي عدوا شياطين الإنس. We have made, for every prophet, we have made for him shaitan. That is, will be rebelling against that, and then to one another they will be putting for themselves evil whispers that they will be, they will adorn it beautifully, that will be inspiring themselves. So that is from this one. Even scholars of today should know that you can never be free from shaitan. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that he has made shaitan to be a kind of every prophet to come, and then there will be a rebel against them, because they have to test your faith. Is it strong? So also, when they're doing the work of dawah, you also face this. It is the same. And even if you are not doing the work of dawah, ordinarily, there will be a rebel against you. There will be anything good you want to do, there will be people again. So you should keep in mind, and that you should always seek refuge from Allah, so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will continue protecting you. May Allah continue to protect you and I. And then let's go to this hadith of Abi Zar, where Rasulullah said, Ta'awad billahi min ash-shaytan, al-ins wal-jinn. O Abu Dhar, seek refuge in Allah from the devils of mankind and jinn. That is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's what Rasulullah is saying to Abu Dhar, one of his companions. He said you should seek refuge with Allah from. Abu Dhar al-Ghifari now say, awalil insani shayateen, do humans have devils too? Rasulullah said yes. So there is devils among human beings, but you can do good deeds to him. Maybe he will change one day. But that of satanic, I always emphasize that it is only through Allah that he can be restrained. He can be prevented from coming to you. And then that is A'udhu billahi minash shaitan, and then ar-rajim. Rajim, يعني إنه مرجوم مطرود عن الخير كله. That's the meaning of rajim. Rajim is the stone or the cost. In its term meaning, one who is rejected. In other words, he is stoned and cast away from all goods. That is ar-rajim. So Allah said in another ayah, وَلَقَدْ زَيَّنَّا السَّمَاءَ الدُّنْيَا بِمَصَابِيحَ وَجَعَلْنَاهَا رُجُومًا لِلشَّيَاطِينِ. He said we have adorned the sky, the closest heaven, with stars. وَجَعَلْنَاهَا رُجُومًا لِلشَّيَاطِينِ, and then we made it a sort of stoning the shayateen. وَلَقَدْ جَعَلْنَا فِي السَّمَاءِ بُرُوجًا وَزَيَّنَّاهَا لِلنَّاظِرِينَ وَحَفِظْنَاهَا مِنْ كُلِّ شَيْطَانٍ رَجِيمٍ, and then we've prevented from every shaitan that is being stoned. So shaitan, they used to go and, to be stealing, so dropping some of the information Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving to the angels, either to go and give this one health, to give this one wealth, or whatever. They will go and to here, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will use those as to stone them, so that they will all perish. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even in another hadith, like hadith of Abi Qatada, he said Rasulullah even prevent us from looking at those stars when it is falling. Okay, so that is the thing we should be doing. So this is the little about A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim. Now we'll move on to explaining Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Now,
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim in the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. In another translation, the entirely merciful. And then Ar-Rahim, the especially merciful. Allah is entirely merciful to his servants. Because Allah is entirely merciful to his servants, he gave them everything they need in life. In other places, وَآتَاكُم مِّن كُلِّ مَا سَأَلْتُمُوهُ وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا. He gave you almost virtually all what you need and what you want. And then if you are to count the bounties Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you, cannot do that. Is it that of health? Is it in your body system? Is it in everything, the ones you know and the one you did not know? So the bounties of Allah are so innumerous upon his servants. And then the servants are all enjoying for Ar-Rahman. That's why he said, Ar-Rahman al-Arsh istawa. Ar-Rahman, he ascended to the throne. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ar-Rahman that ascended up to the throne. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Rahmah, in another hadith, he said he created about 100 mercy for his son. Out of this 100 mercy is only one you put on top of the earth. And then the servants of Allah are benefiting from this mercy. And then from beginning, the coming of Adam to the final person on the day of resurrection, that one mercy will not end. The remaining 99 portion of that mercy, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala led them inside Jannah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make you and I to be one of the inhabitants of this Jannah that will witness all this mercy in 100% of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah is so merciful that he made his Ar-Rahman, this thing is very vast. His Rahman is so very vast, but especially merciful to his slaves on the day of Qiyamah. That is his believers. His mu'minun will be especially merciful on that day. So it's from this mercy that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created all the kind of things we are saying today. All the lofty enjoyment, because Rasulullah is the final prophet, that is why his ummah are doing all what the remaining previous ummah did. We have so many types of innovations today, and this is little out of the mercy. All this technological advancement is among the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and many more advanced technologies are coming. If we are going to spend 100 years from now, if this video should last for 100 years, those that will be viewing it that time, we say this kind of old method of things. So there is always the advancement will be coming, and then there are so many new things that will be done. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but mind you, with all this blessing, the value of the world in the sight of Allah is not up to the finger or the wing of a mosquito in the sight of Allah. So anything one gets in this receive, or one we're able to be fortunate to get, he should be humble, because it is nothing to Allah. So try to buy your Jannah with what you are being blessed with, not to be rebellious to Allah with what you have been blessed with. And then those that are so much blessed with wealth, with health, with whatsoever thing, be grateful to Allah, and then always remember the poor, especially in this kind of month of Ramadan. And those that are poor should be patient with Allah. One day you will shine. One day Allah will make you better. Your situation will not remain the same. But be patient and do not allow shaitan influence. Do not allow shaitan to have any upper hand over you. If you are patient and calm, Allah's time, your own time will come, and then you'll be better. So this is Bismillahi ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And then inshallah, it's almost time for this session. And then inshallah, when we come next, we'll a bit brief on some many other sides or regarding Suratul Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim before we now properly move into Suratul Fatihah itself. So, but before we go, I think I can read hadith. One hadith for us. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in hadith of Ibn Abbas, أن الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم كان لا يعرف فصل السورة حتى ينزل عليه بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam will not know that a surah has come to an end until Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim is being recited to him. So Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam will not know that a surah has come to an end. So that is what some hold, that Suratul Fatihah, Surah Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim is a demarcation between surah. And some say it comes before, it is the one that is in the initial, before the surah itself. And some say this surah, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, it is in the beginning of every surah. That is why it is being recited at the beginning, except in At-Tawbah. Surah At-Tawbah, Bismillah is not recited at the beginning. It's only at the middle where Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim is being recited. So, but some say, according to a hadith, that Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim is part of the verses of Surah Al-Fatihah, making it the seventh one. So that is why this is Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim is one of these. But inshallah, in our next session, we are going to dwell more on the about the Bismillah Rahman. Is it part of this ayah? Is it part of Surah Al-Fatihah or it is not? Some said yeah, it is part of it. Some said no, it is not. It's an independent verse. So we'll explore that in our next session, inshallah. So do well to join us in our next session. And inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are going to throw more light on this. All that we say that is that coincide with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the reward. And whatever we say that is not coinciding with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, may Allah forgive us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make you and I benefit so much from this month of Ramadan in doing the Qiyamul Layl, in doing a lot of recitations, in doing a lot of ibadat. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help you and I in doing that. And anything that will be a miss of what Allah doesn't want, what Allah has said we shouldn't go near. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us to be distant away from it. May Allah give us the ability to give a lot of handouts to people, those that are poor. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us to be among those Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will prevent from entrance into fire. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make me and you among those that will inherit the Jannah of Firdaus, inshallah. May Allah make you and I to be among the neighbors of the noble Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us to be able to recite the Quran. And may Allah make shaitan very far away and distant from us. هذا وصلى الله على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
إن هذا القرآن يهدي للتي هي أقوم ويبشر المؤمنين الذين يعملون الصالحات أن لهم أجرا كبيرا. إن الذين يتلون كتاب الله وأقاموا الصلاة وأنفقوا مما رزقناهم سرا وعلانية يرجون تجارة لن تبور ليوفيهم أجورهم ويزيدهم من فضله إنه غفور شكور.